Imagine holding a small piece of metal that looks just like every other coin you've ever seen in your pocket change, but inside that dull shine lies a story so powerful that it could make your heart race and your hands tremble, because this tiny coin we're talking about today has shocked the world of numismatics and left collectors speechless. Welcome back to World Coins Hub, where we uncover the most mysterious and valuable coins hidden in plain sight. If you're new here, don't blink, because the story of this one coin could change the way you look at money forever. So let's begin with a question. What if I told you that somewhere in the Philippines, in the early 2000s, a single coin was minted with a combination so rare that today it is worth more than $13 million? Yes, 13 million for 110. Piso coin sounds unbelievable, right? Well, that's exactly what makes this coin one of the greatest mysteries and most exciting finds in modern numismatics. This is the story of the 2003 Philippine 10 peso coin, a coin that turned ordinary pocket change into a global sensation. Now, before we dive into the shocking reasons behind its astronomical value, let's travel back to 2003, a year when the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas released millions of 10 peso coins for circulation. These coins were bimetallic, featuring two distinct metals, a golden outer ring made from nickel brass and a silver-colored center of cupra-nickel. Together they formed one of the most iconic and durable coins in Philippine currency history. But what makes the 2003 version so special is that among the millions struck, only a handful contained errors so small yet so critical that they changed everything. Collectors around the world call it the transitional die variety, a phrase that sends shivers down the spine of serious numismatists, because that's where true rarity begins. The 2003 10 peso coin was accidentally struck using an incorrect die. A die meant for the previous year's design. The combination created microscopic details that only expert graders like PCGS and NGC could identify. Imagine the lettering slightly misaligned, the portrait of Apolinario Mabini and Andres Bonifacio showing sharper or duller relief, and the edge reading inconsistent across the circumference, small differences. Yes, but to coin graders, those tiny imperfections are the fingerprints of history. When grading companies like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, receive coins like this, they use a strict 70-point scale to measure quality, luster, and strike precision. Now imagine a 2003 10 peso coin graded at MS68 or MS69, near perfect condition, flawless surfaces, dazzling brilliance. Such a coin doesn't just get attention, it becomes legendary, because in the world of numismatics, condition is king. The better the grade, the rarer the piece, the higher the value. And in the case of this coin, it skyrockets into the millions. But what makes it truly mind-blowing is that this coin doesn't just appeal to Filipino collectors. It has captured the imagination of international investors from the United States, Europe, and Asia alike. Many American collectors consider this coin a hidden gem, a cross-cultural treasure that tells the story of global minting precision and unexpected mistakes. And if you're watching this video from the US, think about it, you might have a coin in your collection right now that has a similar story just waiting to be discovered. That's what makes numismatics so exciting. Every coin has a hidden past waiting to be uncovered. Now here's where things get even more fascinating. The technical specifications of this coin make it stand out. The 2003 10 peso coin has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, a thickness of 2.05 millimeters, and weighs exactly 8.7 grams. Its bimetallic composition gives it a distinctive two-tone shine, but more importantly, those measurements are crucial because collectors use them to detect counterfeits or mint errors. Even a small variation in thickness or weight can mean the difference between a common coin and a multi-million-dollar rarity. Imagine you're at a flea market or browsing through old family coins, and you spot a 10 peso coin from 2003. It looks normal, but when you weigh it, it's slightly off, maybe 6 grams instead of 8.7. Or the color tone feels a bit lighter. Hold your breath, because you might be holding one of the few error strikes that survived mint inspection. And if that coin has been preserved carefully, no scratches, no discoloration, no wear, then you might just be staring at a treasure worth millions. And now comes the million-dollar question, literally: how did a 10 peso coin end up being valued at 13 million? Collectors point to a perfect storm of rarity, error condition, and provenance. First, only a handful are known to exist. Second, many were melted down or reissued during the design transition, making survivors incredibly scarce. Third, those graded by PCGS or NGC at near-perfect condition are practically priceless. And fourth, its backstory connects to a brief but historic minting oversight that made headlines across Southeast Asia. You might be wondering, can anyone just find this coin and become a millionaire overnight? Well, technically yes, but it's not that easy, because authentication is everything, and that's where professional grading comes into play. Coin experts recommend never cleaning or polishing your coin, because that destroys its natural patina and drastically reduces its grade. Instead, handle it with cotton gloves, store it in an airtight capsule, and if you suspect it might be valuable, send it for grading to PCGS or NGC. Once graded, your coin's value becomes certified globally, and that's your ticket into the world of high-end coin trading. But don't go running to any random buyer online, because selling such a coin requires the right audience and platform to get the true value of your treasure. So where should you sell it? The best route is through professional numismatic auctions like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or Stax Bowers. These are trusted institutions recognized by collectors worldwide. They specialize in rare coins and have direct access to millionaire investors who are always searching for unique pieces like this one. Alternatively, you can list it through PCGS's certified coin marketplace, or contact a professional dealer associated with the American Numismatic Association. They'll help you appraise and connect with serious buyers. Let's pause here for a second, because what we've uncovered so far is only the surface. The real twist in this story lies in how this coin's design tells a tale of national pride, revolution, and historical symbolism that somehow merged with a minting error to create one of the most valuable coins of the century. And in just a moment, we'll dive into that hidden layer. But before we continue, make sure you tap that like button, because what's coming next will leave you speechless. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and join our growing family of collectors here on World Coins Hub, where we reveal the secrets behind the world's rarest and most valuable coins. Now imagine this. You're sitting at your desk under a single light, examining a small coin with a magnifier, the gold and silver colors reflecting faintly, and you notice something unusual. The rim looks slightly thicker on one side than the other. You flip it and realize the edge lettering seems faintly rotated. Your heart starts pounding, because these are signs of a minting misalignment. And that's exactly how several lucky collectors discovered their 2003 10 peso error coins. Every coin tells a story, but these told a story worth millions. We'll continue this story in part 2, where we reveal the coin's design secrets, its historical significance, the hidden mint marks that only professionals recognize, and how one auction in the United States changed its value forever. So stay tuned, because the next few minutes will uncover facts that could make you look at every coin you own differently forever. And remember, this is World Coins Hub, the place where every coin has a story, and every story could be your next fortune. The light in the room grows dim, the magnifier still in your hand, your eyes fixed on the coin that now feels heavier than before, because you realize you're not just holding metal. You're holding history minted in 2003 during a turning point. For the Philippine currency system, this 10 peso coin carries more than its face value. It carries the spirit of two national heroes, Apolinario Mabini, and Andres Bonifacio, symbols of independence, courage, and revolution. Their portraits carved into the coin's bimetallic face aren't just artwork. They are silent witnesses to an age when freedom came at the cost of sacrifice, and today, that same symbol etched into a mint error turned ordinary circulation change into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Collectors around the world often say that numismatics is not about the metal, but the story behind it, and the 2003 10 Piso coin embodies that perfectly. During that year, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas switched its production dies to correct certain alignment issues from previous mints. But somewhere between old and new design, a tiny fraction of coins slipped through carrying mismatched features. What appeared to be ordinary circulation, coins actually bore a hybrid identity, part old die, part new die, and that single irregularity became the seed of a legend. When first discovered, these coins didn't create an uproar right away. A few collectors in Manila and Cebu noticed subtle differences and quietly submitted them for grading. When the first results came back from the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, specialists were stunned. The surface luster, the strike pressure, and the die alignment were unlike any documented version. PCGS graded one example, MS69 bimetallic transitional die variety, an almost impossible score for a coin intended for daily circulation. Word spread across collector forums, and suddenly the humble 10 Piso coin was no longer a coin. It was an artifact. Auction houses in the United States took notice. Heritage Auctions featured one in their rare World Coin Sale. The room filled with tension as bids climbed from thousands to hundreds of thousands, then millions, until the hammer dropped. At over 13 million USD, a record that sent shockwaves through the numismatic world, that sale became a benchmark, proving that provenance, grading, and story combined can transform a simple coin into a global treasure. Let's take a closer look at what makes this coin technically fascinating. The diameter 26.5 millimeters, the thickness 2.05 millimeters, and the weight 8.7 grams might seem like dry numbers, but to coin graders these are coordinates of authenticity. The golden outer ring, forged from nickel brass, encircles a silvery core of cupra nickel, creating a two-tone contrast that changes hue under different light angles. And because of a slight variation in metal mix, some 2003 issues display faint golden streaks running into the silver center. That visual anomaly became one of the diagnostic markers experts use to identify genuine transitional strikes. Condition remains everything in this market. Graders look for unbroken mint luster, crisp lettering, sharp edges, and no visible contact marks. Even the tiniest scratch under magnification can downgrade a coin from mint state perfection to a lower tier, wiping millions off its potential value. That's why collectors handle these treasures only with cotton gloves and store them in sealed, airtight capsules inside temperature-controlled safes. Every precaution preserves that gleaming surface, that silent evidence of untouched history. But the story doesn't end with grading, because provenance, the chain of ownership, adds another layer of value. The first known 2003 10 Piso error came from a retired Philippine mint technician who recognized something unusual in his pocket change. Decades later, his discovery is cited in official grading population reports, a small detail that dramatically increases collectability. Serious investors from the United States and Japan now track provenance as carefully as they track condition, because a documented backstory assures authenticity and historical weight. Now imagine you are holding one yourself, and you want to sell it. The pathway to cashing in isn't about speed, it's about precision. First step: get your coin authenticated by PCGS or NGC. Never clean it, never polish it. Natural toning and patina actually help confirm originality. Second, once graded, secure your certification. Number and high-resolution photographs Then approach established auction houses, such as Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or Stack's Bowers. These institutions maintain relationships with investors who understand the market's pulse. They can position your coin for competitive bidding. Third, consider listing through PCG's CoinFax Marketplace, where verified collectors can make private offers, and remember, transparency builds trust. Provide your grading report and provenance history clearly, so buyers know exactly what they are getting. And for those of you in the United States wondering if you could stumble upon something similar, keep your eyes open because the same principles apply to you. As coinage transitional dies off. Metal strikes double denominations. These are categories where fortune hides. The 2003 10 Piso coin teaches one powerful lesson. Sometimes the tiniest minting change creates astronomical value. That's the thrill of numismatics. Let's talk about why collectors pay such staggering sums. Psychology plays a huge part. Rarity triggers emotion, and emotion drives bidding wars. Imagine two determined collectors facing off online. One from California, one from Hong Kong, each convinced that owning this piece means holding a slice of monetary history. Every bid raises not just the price, but the pulse until that final moment when the auctioneer's gavel falls and silence fills the room. That heartbeat of suspense is what makes coin collecting both art and adventure. The design itself deepens the fascination. The obverse shows the busts of Apolinario Mabini and Andres Bonifacio, their gazes directed toward the future, symbolizing intellect and bravery. The reverse features the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, seal encircled by the year mark 2003. The tiny mint marks beneath the seal differ subtly from previous years. One version has a sharper BSP logo and wider ring spacing. Those are the markers that distinguish the rare issue from the common circulation. Coin expert eyes and magnification tools are essential to spot them. Sometimes the difference is a fraction of a millimeter, yet that fraction can spell millions. Now let's dive into the historical context that amplifies this coin's mystique. The early 2000s marked economic transition in the Philippines, and the 10 Piso coin symbolized modernization, replacing older banknotes. The mint's goal was efficiency, durability, and national pride. But the unintended minting overlap of 2003 turned a symbol of change into an accidental masterpiece when collectors discovered it. Years later, it represented more than a mistake. It represented the unpredictable artistry of human craftsmanship. From a numismatic standpoint, the term mint error usually implies a flaw. But in high-end collecting, error often means opportunity. Off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, or transitional compositions. These quirks are the heartbeat of the hobby, and when they appear on coins tied to significant historical figures, the value multiplies exponentially. That's why the 2003 10 Piso stands alongside famous U.S. rarities like the 1943 copper Lincoln cent and the 1933 double eagle. It's no longer just a Philippine coin. It's part of the global pantheon of legendary minting miracles. At this point, you might be asking how many exist. Estimates vary, but most experts agree fewer than 10 authentic transitional 2003 10 Piso coins remain in mint state condition, and among those, only 2 are known to be graded above MS-68 by major certification bodies. Rarity so extreme that each appearance in the market becomes an event recorded in auction archives and discussed across collector forums years afterward. Now think about this. What if one of those coins is still out there in someone's change jar, forgotten in a drawer, waiting to be rediscovered? That thought keeps collectors searching day and night. And maybe that's the real treasure. Not just the value, but the chase itself. The excitement of uncovering a mystery that links you to history across oceans and generations. And this is where you come in. If you're watching this right now, you are part of a growing global movement of collectors who see coins not as currency, but as stories pressed in metal. So if you find a 2003 10 peso coin, check its details carefully, measure its weight. 8. 7 grams confirm the diameter. 26.5 millimeters observe the edge lettering under magnification, and note the tone between ring and core. If anything feels slightly off, don't ignore it because that subtle difference could be your gateway to a life-changing discovery. Before we close, let's reflect on what this coin teaches us about the art of collecting, patience, precision, and passion. Coin collecting is not gambling. It's archaeology of money. It rewards those who look closer, who ask questions, who value authenticity above shine. And that mindset separates casual hobbyists from true numismatists. So here's my challenge to you after this video. Go through your collection. Look again at every coin you thought was ordinary. And if you ever stumble upon a 2003 Philippine 10 peso coin with unusual features, take it seriously, photograph it, weigh it, and send it for professional evaluation. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next headline on heritage auctions. Maybe your name will appear in PCGS records as the owner of the next multi-million-dollar rarity. If this story stirred your curiosity, then do not let it fade. Tap that like button right now because every like tells us you want more discoveries like this, and if you haven't yet, smash that subscribe button and join the family of explorers here at World Coins Hub, where every week we decode hidden treasures from around the world, from the U.S. Mint's forgotten prototypes to lost colonial pesos, from the mysteries of ancient denarii to the futuristic errors of modern minting. This is where collectors unite. Share this video with every coin enthusiast you know, post it in collector groups on Facebook and Reddit, tag a friend who loves rare finds, because spreading knowledge keeps the passion alive. And who knows, maybe together we'll uncover the next great discovery hiding in plain sight. Remember, coins aren't just money. They are miniature time machines carrying art, history, politics, and human error, all pressed into a circle of metal. And sometimes one small mistake can make that circle worth $13 million. Stay curious, stay passionate, and keep your eyes on your change, because the next treasure might already be in your hands. This is World Coins Hub, signing off, where every coin has a story and every story could be your next fortune.